Although the television series Outlander is best recognized for its action and fantastical themes, many also claim that the show mainly emphasizes romance. At first, it seems as though the show's focus would be solely on the romance between Frank and Claire. However, it took a bit of a turn between the pain, but thankfully, there are still plenty of hot romantic moments throughout all seasons of the hit series. So which one takes the cake? Let's take a look. First up, the iconic wedding episode.
Nothing is lost, Cecily. Only changed.
Of course, there is a fair likelihood that any episode, including a wedding, will be quite romantic, but this one seems to come out on top. After their pre-planned wedding, this episode deepens Claire and Jamie's intimacy. They discuss their families and get to know one another better while flashbacks depict the wedding. As it becomes increasingly evident that Jamie truly loves her, Claire is moved by Jamie's memory of the events. You can actually see Claire battle her guilt during this hour as she progressively gives in to her affection for Jamie. Next up, Claire heals Jamie's emotional scars while she is pregnant.
Yes, a lot more. They stretch all the way past a mighty river named the Mississippi.
These two had it rough in Season 1, and in Season 2 they had to go to Paris to heal their wounds and attempt to get their bearings. They were dealing with the consequences of Jamie being raped and tortured by Black Jack Randall in the first season, while still trying to prevent the Battle of Culloden from afar. By the time they were able to depart and settle in Paris due to that horrific deed, Jamie was understandably not feeling his most passionate with his new wife. Jamie is sent to a different room to sleep after a fight one night, during which Claire discovered the teeth marks on his thigh. But later that night, with a growing baby belly, pregnant Claire visits Jamie and uses to help him recover. The encounter leaves them both content and dreamy. Although it revived their romance, it also made what would happen later in the season more challenging. The blackmail moment with Geneva Dunsany and Jamie Fraser, while not romantic, it certainly is intense. You might wonder what blackmail is and how it even made this list. Well, anytime Jamie is involved, it's certain to be hot, right? In this particular episode, Jamie eventually discovers himself in prison due to his conduct at Culloden. Young Geneva Dunsany fell head over heels for the dashing new groomsman while he did his sentence at the Hellwater estate. Unfortunately, Geneva had been betrothed to a guy who was 50 years her senior, and if he didn't have sex with her before they got married, she'd inform her father that Jamie was the notorious Red Jamie of the Jacobite Revolt. This is obviously a bad situation, and Jamie is right to be outraged about it. He goes to her room that night more willingly than you might expect because he realizes that she wants to be in charge of what she does with her body. We all know he was starting to really miss Claire by this point, but he was gentle, treated her well, showed her what to do, and seemed to love it. As a result, the sexiest blackmail video ever was born. Next up, the America the Beautiful episode.
Things you said yesterday about having nothing to give me.
Dinner fast, Cecily.
In this episode, they arrive in America, and Claire and Jamie explore. In light of the shipwreck that season 3 concluded on, they spend the night outside and express their gratitude for still being alive and together despite everything they have gone through. This scene has redeemed many lackluster episodes, which this one is not because Katrina Balfe and Sam Heughan's chemistry is still so powerful. In a heartwarming scene, Jamie presents Claire with a box to hold all of her medications and herbs as a gift on their 24th wedding anniversary. A simple act of kindness and thoughtfulness is also very romantic in our opinion. Another very hot romantic moment was when Geneva and Claire had a steamy reunion.
She smiles in her sleep, as you see I do.
So when Geneva and Jamie were enjoying hot blackmail, where was Claire? Well, with her current husband Frank in the 1940s. Before the Battle of Culloden, Jamie was sent back through the stones, and the two were separated for 20 long, lonely years, with Claire believing that Jamie had perished in the conflict. But she knew that she had to go back to him and their sacred link after learning that he had in fact survived, so she did just that. Jamie was pleasantly surprised when Claire showed up at his printing business in Edinburgh because he had imagined he would never see her again. But after he calmed down and they had a wonderful talk, it was time to get down to business. And that's exactly what they did, getting intimate once again. The episode from Season 5 titled The Company We Keep is very romantic. In this episode, Jamie and Claire's storyline is wonderfully romantic once again. Jamie and Claire gave birth to Fanny's baby, and when they woke up, the baby had no mother. Jamie finally gets to witness how Claire may have interacted with Brianna as they take the infant with them to find her a home. When he sees her with a child, he is affected and begins formulating an idea. Roger asks her if she wants to adopt the child so they can finally be parents together, after the two dance at the wild party he's organized. She declines, claiming that they are not in the greatest place and that she is fully content with their current situation and does not require anything else. Speaking of season 5, the episode titled Monsters and Heroes is a must-watch if you love romantic moments. Since Jamie is practically saved from death in this episode thanks to Claire's love, it had to be included. A deadly snake bites Jamie while out hunting, and because Claire is unfamiliar with toxic bites, she believes Jamie will have to have his leg amputated or else die. He lies dying in their bed because he won't lose his leg. He cries out abruptly for Claire to join him in bed, and they both make it through the night. He then asks her to take his leg so that he doesn't have to leave her, truly depicting how strong their love and bond is. Next up, Murtaugh and Jocasta's moment in season 4. Now, one of the most enjoyable aspects of watching Outlander is enjoying all of the fascinating side characters that frequently appear in Jamie and Claire's lives. Murtaugh is one of the most significant of these characters. He has supported his godson for most of the series, although his romantic antics remain behind closed doors, except for season 4, when viewers were shocked to see that the tough outlaw got steamy with Jamie's aunt, Jocasta. Now, it's tough to describe how great it was to witness an argument between two individuals who care so deeply about Jamie and Claire, which resulted in a fantastic night and the adorable morning after moment. Now, the episode The Devil's Mark is dark, yet romantic. Because it is about a witch trial, this episode is rather grim, although there was a small, sweet scene towards the end. After being charged with witchcraft, Claire and Gellis spend a few nights together in the Thieves' Hole. They get along because they both like Jamie and Dougal, two Highlanders. The former shows up there just in time to bravely stop Claire from getting spanked, and then she admits to being from the future. Because of how much he cares for Claire, Jamie won't stop her from getting what she wants, so he brings her back to the Stones. Jamie is devastated when Claire returns, and she decides to stay with him after ultimately having to choose between him and Frank. Season 3, episode 13 to be exact, is very romantic. Here's why. Unaware of the approaching shipwreck that would send them to North Carolina, Claire and Jamie spend some time alone on a ship bound for Scotland after saving their kidnapped nephew, Ian Fraser Murray. Claire then approaches Jamie while beaming with happiness. She gives him a hint and he responds, "I have given much thought about what I want to do to you when we arrive on dry land." They do not, however, wait for dry land, if you know what we mean. Next up, the pre-battle birthday present is very romantic and steamy. Claire tries to divert the Highlander, who is also celebrating a significant birthday, hours before Jamie must join the Redcoats to battle Regulators at the Battle of Alamance. Another worry for Jamie is whether his charisma would wane as he approaches his big 5-0. As if. Taking advantage of the situation, Claire starts a morning fling while singing Happy Birthday in a breathy, sensual imitation of Marilyn Monroe. And finally, the episode where Claire and Jamie are stuck at sea. In this particular scene, Jamie and Claire are stranded at sea with no wind to guide them home and a short water supply while sailing on the Artemis to Jamaica. Due to a peculiar living arrangement with the yet-to-be-married Marsali and Fergus, they have also been separated at night, so when it finally rains, they are all excited. Their joyful attitude swiftly changes into a hot and steamy one, getting together in an empty storage room as they stumble through the hallways. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we have for today, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.